Dr. Lorraine Haata's 2011 New Year's resolution was to write 1,000 words a day, every day, including holidays. Why did she set this goal? Because last year she spent more days thinking about writing than she cares to admit. Lorraine has worked with writing deadlines her whole life. As a professor in English, she has helped countless students get past writer's block and learn to appreciate the high value of communicating effectively through the written word. In addition to teaching writing, Lorraine has also written in every corporate position she's held in the fields of construction, marketing, and logistics. She has been held to deadlines for company intranet, content, marketing copy, and web copy. She has also had deadlines on standard operating procedures and other documentation required for corporate quality and environmental audits. In addition, Lorraine has published business articles. She's working earnestly on her second book. She is the founder of the First Coast Christian Writers and served as the president for the first 2 years, 2008 through 2009. She earned her PhD in curriculum and instruction from the University of Florida, another Gator. In addition to her doctorate, Lorraine holds a BA and an MA in English, as well as 3 associate's degrees in the areas of interior design, construction, project management, and business administration. That means she can get it done on budget, and she's going to look really pretty. And not fall down. Now you know one of Lorraine's weaknesses as a writer. She loves to learn and do research. If she's not careful, she can spend the entire day doing research without getting the real work of writing. In this lesson, Lorraine will share her strategies and resources for setting writing deadlines and making time to write every day. Please join me as I welcome Dr. Lorraine Haataia.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here tonight, and thank you for the invitation, Greg. I'm very excited to be talking with all of you. I would like to begin by giving away something free. Everybody good with that? Everybody likes free things, right? It's in the form of a story. Oh. Every time I go to my sister's houses for the holidays and Christmas and Thanksgiving, they can cut their vegetables and their meat so easily. And every time I kept going to my sister's house, I said, this is both my sisters, both my sister Jana and Diane. They both have these great knives. I'm like, what is up with these great knives? They cut so well. And so guess what I did? My after Christmas gift is I ordered some of these Miracle Blades. And guess what happened by February? I was washing this extremely sharp knife and cut that finger. And it slowed down my writing very much. So I have a love-hate relationship with this knife. But I will tell you, this is the free part about this. You can use this story because it goes on. Guess what happened to me last night when I was doing the dishes? Last night for dinner, I went out to my herb garden and I decided I was going to cut some fresh oregano. This came in the kit with the Miracle Blades, and as I was washing it, it totally sliced through my finger, a half-inch cut, so now my thumb is disabled. That's free. Now, you know what's free about that? You can write an entire novel on this whole kit with the Miracle Blade knives and how it eats up your family. So that's free for the taking. You can do a whole, like a serial killer that uses this whole kit with the steak knives and the scissors. And I'm not a fiction writer. I'm a nonfiction writer, and that's the truth. That happened. Free story, just in case anybody wants a novel with a serial killer using the Miracle Blade. But here's what's even better. You always got to be thinking about marketing. And with ebooks, you can do this now, too. You can even put a little link in there that links off to the Miracle Blade, you know, like as seen on TV, as read in my book, as seen in the movie. Always got to be thinking creatively. You can do that in your ebook that's coming out soon. All right. To our task, though, about talking about writing goals. Who here has a writing goal? You're all probably here because even if you're already published or you're not published yet, you probably have a writing goal. And we always have to keep refreshing. I'm a process improvement specialist. That's what I do, business process improvement, helping companies be more green. So I'm always looking for a better, quicker way and looking for tips and ideas. So that's what we're here for today, is to give each other tips. As you can see, there is a little video thing rolling, and I'm going to stop it 4 times. We have 4 sections here that we're going to talk about. aspiring, planning, writing, and publishing. And we have to do all these steps, but we're going to go through each of them. And I assume that if everybody's here is a writer, you want to be famous, right? Everybody want to be famous?
I want
Would
to
you
be
like
rich.
Okay, famous and
Bernard
rich.
Getz was famous for 3 weeks. I want to be rich.
We're going to talk,
Well-published.
and we'll talk about money a little bit too. But if you would like to, at the end of each of these sections, I'm going to talk a little bit about each section, and then I'm going to ask a person, 1 or 2 people, to come up at the end of each section if something sparks your interest or you want to make a commitment. So this will be on the River City blog, and so just think about that. First of all, it's really important to have one major goal. You might have a couple really minor goals, but we can only get so much done in this life of suburbanism and commuting by car. We spend so much time in our cars, but we have to really think, what is our big goal? I have one goal right now. I'm working on getting the book out, and I'm going to publish it as an ebook as well as self-publish it as a hard copy. But you have to have that one major goal. I have had, over my lifetime, I have 1 book published, but I have 7 books in progress. I'm not proud to say that, but I love to start things, and all that final editing, and you know, in the old traditional publishing, when you had to go through the gatekeepers to get, go through the whole big long process of trying to get published. We don't have any of that anymore. Have any of you been to the Kindle where you upload your book? You can upload a book in 10 minutes. There's no reason why any of us can't be published with even a short little paper by this time next month. It is that simple, but it's so simple it's scary, but at the same time you have to self-edit and make sure you have good quality going up. So, whether your goal is big, like publishing a book, I want my book to have at least 100,000 words or more, and I have a very specific goal in mind. But you might also have very small goals. I had a goal a while back that I wanted to set up a Twitter account so I could start networking. And my goal was to just publish 1 little tweet a day. That was my goal. Now, I really don't publish 1 a day. There are some days when I do 3, and some days when I take a vacation and I don't do any. But on average, I publish about 1 a day. So one big goal, whether it's that big book or getting published in a particular magazine, but maybe you have a few little side goals. But it's really ineffective to have lots and lots and lots of goals as a writer. We can get swamped and feel overwhelmed. So think about that. The first question there is, my writing goal is, and I am going to ask, like I said, I'm going to ask 1 or 2 of you to come up for each of these. So if you have a specific goal that you want to share, please let us know. Now, have any of you heard of the Smith Mag 6 words? And I have this as a link. It's on the bottom of the little sheet there. Have you heard of the Smith Mag 6 words? You can go on. This is a fantastic little tool. So go on to 6 words. And people write these six words. So I just came up with one recently. It was something like, kids gone, house sold, hello beach. And so people go on and they publish just 6 little words. That's a goal you can meet, right? If you just want to keep generating ideas and you want to be out there networking and you want to have, because this goes out to other people, people can retweet it. There's a lot of different ways that this can get your name out. So if you're a mystery writer, you might put a little mysterious 6-word thing out there. It's kind of like twitting, using Twitter. How many of you do Twitter? Nobody here yet? Okay. Anyway, it's kind of like that. When you put Twitter, you have 140 characters. In 6 words, you have 6 words. It doesn't matter how long the words are. And some people cheat by jamming words together. Anyway, big goals, little goals. Okay? Maybe one really big goal, and maybe you have some other little goals. The other thing is, you have to have that burning desire. How many people here have spent years wanting to be published? Right? Most writers, it takes many, many years. And it feels dreadful when you go to conferences and you hear people say that they took 10 years to write their novel. It's over, you just, I'll never get published, right? It really doesn't need to take that long, and it doesn't need to be that overwhelming. So how do we get past having that wish to having it be the reality? We set deadlines, we have goals. Okay. But you got to have that burning desire. Have any of you ever read Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich? He has a whole chapter about, you got to have a burning desire. It's the same thing for a writer. Unless you really want to get a message out there, or you really want to be published, that desire can be a lot of things. We had a guy in our writers group who was a pastor, and he wanted to publish his childhood stories for his grandchildren. He had a burning desire for his kids to not lose his fantastic childhood and all the great stories he had. But that burning desire has to be strong enough to overcome all the obstacles of whether it's being a parent, full-time employee, no time, distracted, not feeling well, whatever all the reasons are. The burning desire has to overcome all of those challenges. So the third thing, if you can make a note of this on your sheet there, and please do write on this. Now I believe in, okay, I said I was green, right? I really believe in using both sides of the paper. So look at the back of your paper. Can you see that I've used both sides of the paper? Page, the back is for your notes, okay? Anything else you want to think about? I didn't leave it free for you. But what is your biggest hurdle? So make a note on there. That's the third question. What is your biggest hurdle? I would say 90% of the time, it's our own self-discipline. Now, you might be able to argue with me that you have some other excuses, but I would say, maybe I'm being conservative, maybe it's 99% of the time, it's our own self-discipline. If we have that desire to write, I mean, unless we are physically incapacitated, there are even writers. We had a guy come speak at First Coast Christian Writers Break. I'm not sure if you were there that night. He was paralyzed in the Olympics, and he spoke through his mouth into a machine. He used the pencil from his mouth. When you see, I mean, I get so inspired when I see people like that. I just go, get it done. Why have I not got mine? I have no reason. You know, I have time to watch TV, I have time to cook dinner, I have time to drive around, I have time to go grocery shopping. There are ways to plan and make this all happen better. What is your biggest hurdle? Now, truly, hurdles can be things like your full-time job, you have children, you have sick parents. These are all things that take our time. But our biggest challenge is ourselves and figuring out how to fit it in. So, with those first three questions, my writing goal is, I have a burning desire for this because, and my biggest hurdle is, I will say my writing goal right now is to get my next book published. It is about sustainable collections for designers. So what do we collect that's more sustainable and green than other things? I have a burning desire for this because I have a passion for teaching people about being green, saving money, saving energy. This is a perfect example. Here we are in a building, and we have electricity up here. What do you think's on the other side of the electricity up there? 80% of the day here. Sunshine. Who invented this? Who taught us to be crazy and pay for electricity when there's sunshine up there? It drives me crazy when they have one-story buildings and they don't have, sometimes, anyway, that's me. I have a burning desire to tell people how they can save money, save energy. And my biggest hurdle is myself. It's that discipline. I'm a starter. I love to start my books, but then going back and getting it all fine-tuning and doing the transitions and getting it all perfect.